Peekaboo! Peekaboo! I am actually a bit nervous to film this video. It's a bit weird because I'm using my phone so I can see myself, and that is even weirder. This is a what I eat in a day in recovery because I'm currently in, is that a word? I don't know. In recovery from anorexia. No, it's good. It's just anorexia sucks. This day is not a accurate representation representation of every day. It's not. Well, I'm actually nervous. It's weird. On some days I'm more hungry, on some days I'm less hungry. Yesterday I had a very hungry day. I think today isn't as hungry. Something that's important for me to say, if anybody else is watching this video apart from myself, especially someone who is also recovering from an eating disorder, please don't compare yourself to me. First of all, everybody is different. Second of all, every day is different. And just because you are more hungry than me doesn't mean that you're binging. And if you are less hungry than me, or if some certain foods are easier for you to eat than they are for me, doesn't make you any less sick. Everybody's different. I actually started recovering a couple months ago. I even got my period back in August, but I wasn't really recovering. I wasn't really challenging myself. I wasn't eating any of my fear foods. I did eat some of my fear foods, but I basically ate the same thing every day. My eating disorder got control over me again, complete control. I wouldn't say I relapsed, but I ate less again and I exercised more. Not sure if those sentences are making sense, but that's okay. That's okay. Again, I'm a bit nervous and I'm tired and I also look like it. It's okay. It's okay. And I lost my period again. Is that TMI? It's not TMI. No, it's not. I've struggled with being hungry every single second of the day. And I'm sick of it. And I want my period back. I want my life back. And I want to take control. I want to take control. Because even though your eating disorder is telling you that you are in control, if you listen to the eating disorder, it's not you that's in control, it's the eating disorder. And fuck that bitch. I am recovering, and I mean, I really don't want this channel to be an eating disorder channel. You know what I'm trying to say. But I felt like maybe I felt like making a video like this. I hope it won't be too bad. I did make a video a couple of days ago that I don't think I will ever upload because I say that my video is bad in every video. I always like, this video is so bad. But that one, holy, that was really bad. But I talked about wanting to challenge myself, and I think maybe here and there I might upload a challenge video. I think I will do that. But I'm actually quite hungry now, so I guess I will eat now. Peekaboo! Peekaboo! Hola, it's me again. I just felt like saying that I probably picked the worst day ever to film this video. Compared to most days, I wasn't very hungry that day. But again, every day is different. Everyone's different. And again, if you eat more or less than me, doesn't mean that you are out of control, or it doesn't make your struggles any less valid. Felt like saying that. I didn't film all of my meals. I took photos of some of them. So for breakfast I had 2 slices of my self-made whole grain bread and an apple. Those slices look insanely small, which they are, but that's not because I used less flour. I did use less flour, but because I didn't have enough, and I filled up on oats, and that didn't rise the way it usually rises. That's why they look so small. Yeah, but since that didn't fill me up, I also had a third slice, and that is a huge success for me. Having more than 2 slices of bread was a no-go, and now I can have more than 2 slices of bread if I feel hungry. So that's a success. I always have to finish my breakfast with coffee with a bit of soy milk. It didn't take me very long to get a bit hungry, but I didn't have anything at home, so I just had 2 rice cakes with some soy yogurt. It was a bit plain, but again, I didn't have anything home, so I went grocery shopping. And I got hungry while grocery shopping, but it took a lot longer than I thought it would. And I think that kind of is a reason why that day wasn't that hungry, because I ignored my hunger. I wasn't able to eat anything, so I ignored my hunger, and it always messes up the day. Bit of almost a breakdown while grocery shopping, while I was in the cereal aisle, because I was like, do I want to buy the muesli that I always have, or do I want to buy some granola? And then I almost decided to have granola when I realized that it had sugar in it, and then I freaked out a bit, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't buy anything that has sugar in it. I was also really craving those Weetabix. I don't know if you pronounce it like that, because I saw some people eating them and I thought it looked very delicious. I ended up buying Weetabix and sugar-free granola. It's good, but I was a bit disappointed in myself. But I freaked out when I read that it had sugar in it. Those Weetabix have sugar too, but not as much. Someone was like, "That's a compromise." But I was a bit disappointed in myself. But I freaked out. Gotta be honest. I always have a salad for lunch, but since I was making a video, I decided to challenge myself, and I had a wrap. I started off with some hummus and a chickpea for myself. Then I added a bit of baby spinach and some mushrooms, cucumber, some kidney beans, and that's when my battery died. I also used some smoked tofu and mustard, and this is what it looks like in the end. And I gotta say, that was really hard for me, and I was shaking, and I guess I was quite nervous. And I think it's funny to watch that because I started eating everything but the whole wrap. I was picking everything out of it. Yeah, I was nervous. But I eventually started eating the whole thing, and it was good. I probably should have used some more sauce, but yeah. And I was getting really annoyed with myself because I was still hungry and I still wanted another one. Usually I would just be okay. I had one wrap that was more than a salad, so I won't have anything else. But I was so hungry and I want to be someone that can just eat. And after a battle with myself, I got to the point where I decided to have another one. a smaller one, but another one. I did make some bread that day. It is still a problem for me to eat stuff that I didn't make myself. I make my own bread, I make my own peanut butter. I can eat peanut butter, but only as long as it's mine. I used 750 grams of whole grain, what was it? Whole wheat flour, I think. I added 1 block of fresh yeast. I also used, I think, 2 teaspoons of salt. Feel free to use less if you want to live longer than me, I don't know. And I stirred everything around. I don't think that's how you use fresh yeast, but it worked, so it was fine. I think I used about 50 milliliters of water, but it could be less, I'm not sure. Then stirred that around and started kneading everything with my hands for a couple of minutes. I think I was having a bit too much fun with it. While I let the bread rise for about an hour, I had a peppermint tea and I tried Weetabix, I don't know how you pronounce that. I used one of the Weetabix things and some vegan skyr, I think plum, and some soy milk. I think that's how you use it. I don't know, but it was alright. It was very different from what I expected, but it was alright. And after an hour, my bad boy looked something like this, and it was very fun to play with it. And it made funny noises, and yeah, it was fun. I then kneaded everything again and added some nuts and seeds. I did use about 100 grams of nuts. I used walnuts and sunflower seeds and oats. You don't have to measure them. You can use whatever you want. I mean, nobody's baking that bread. But if anyone out there wants to bake that bread, you gotta use nuts. Use whatever you want. You don't have to measure it, but you gotta use some. I then put some parchment paper into that baking tray and put my bread in it and let it rise for another, I don't know, 15 minutes or something. I'm not sure. And then I put it in the oven by bread at about 200 degrees Celsius. In the meantime, I had some vegetables with hummus, and that tomato has to drop a skincare routine because damn. I took my bread out of the baking tray, out of the parchment paper, and left it in the oven for another 10 minutes. And it made that sound, and I think that's when you know it's done. 1717, someone is thinking about you. Eating bananas is a huge success. Like 3 weeks ago, I didn't eat any bananas, and now I'm able to eat bananas without feeling guilty. And if you are afraid of a food, it doesn't have to be forever, trust me. For dinner, I had a nice big bowl of veggies and potato and some tofu. Yeah, it was very good and it was very filling. I was full, but it was good. Done with the dinner, and now I'm very full and bloated. Look at that, I can't. Okay, look. Is anybody watching? It's kind of square. That looks so weird. Very pretty. But that's okay being bloated is fine. As a little late night snack, I had a bowl of muesli, but I forgot to film that one. But I also had an apple while watching Friends, because Friends the best.